Seems that the Russians have now finally found a solution to this problem. And this is the fundamental reasons why these drones are proving to be a major threat to the Ukrainian army. By simply destroying these air defense systems, the Russian military will obviously get a decisive advantage over Ukraine and NATO. Hey guys, this is Prashant from TechNudo, and today we have a very special video, and this video is about Russia's drone war. Well, the Russia and Ukraine's bloody military conflict has been going on for several months now. Thanks to the generous military support provided by the NATO members, Ukraine has been able to withstand the relentless attacks by the Russian military. The sophisticated air defense system provided by the NATO members have proved to be especially effective in helping Ukraine to shield against Russia's powerful ballistic and short-range missiles. Now, clearly, NATO's air defense system is giving a major headache to the Russians. However, it seems that the Russians have now finally found a solution to this problem. Russians have got their hands on a special drone called Kamikaze Drones. Few weeks back, Russians had used several of these drones to target strategic locations in Kyiv and other locations across Ukraine. Several media reports allege that Russia has imported these Kamikaze drones from Iran. Now, Iran has denied these allegations, but evidences on the ground do strongly suggest that these drones have been indeed imported from Iran. But what are these Kamikaze drones, and why the hell is it giving such a headache to Ukraine and NATO members? Well, Kamikaze drones are extremely small, unmanned aircraft that can be packed with deadly explosives, and these explosives can be then used to destroy strategic assets in the enemy country. Now, although other countries like the US and Israel manufacture similar drones, Kamikaze drones made by Iran are highly affordable. And since they are extremely cost effective, Iranian drones have become much sought after and are witnessing huge demand in the arms export market. In Iran, these drones are manufactured by their military manufacturing company called HISA. These drones are popularly known as Shahed 136 drones. However, Kamikaze is neither an Iranian nor Russian word. It is actually a Japanese word. During the World War II, Japanese used the term kamikaze to refer to the military pilots who were sent on a suicide mission in the enemy territory. Once reaching the enemy territory, these pilots not only did their job, but after doing their job, they crashed their planes against specific targets to cause maximum damage to the enemy country without even thinking of their life. Well, Kamikaze drones are also designed with the same very purpose, and hence they are sometimes referred as long-range suicide drones. Well, this means that after completing their task, they can either fly back to their base or simply crash against an enemy target. In a way, Kamikaze drones double up as a cruise missile, and this is what really makes them dangerous and lethal. Not only this, Kamikaze drones fly at a really low altitude, which means that it's really difficult for NATO's air defense system in detecting these drones. And this is the fundamental reason why these drones are proving to be a major threat to the Ukrainian army. But before I talk more about how these Iranian drones can cause a maximum damage against Ukraine, let us first talk about the key specifications of this drone. The Kamikaze drones can travel at a maximum speed of 185 kilometers an hour, and its approximate weight is about 200 kg. It can cover a maximum distance range of approximately 1550 miles or about 2500 kilometers. The length of this drone is about 3.5 meters and has a wingspan of 8.2 feet. And since this drone can also double up as a missile, it also has a warhead that can carry 36 kilograms of explosives that are connected by GPS. It must be noted that Iran's Kamikaze drones have proved its effectiveness in several past military operations and real battlegrounds. For instance, in the Yemen civil war, Iran had supplied these drones to Houthi rebels who effectively used them to destroy Saudi Arabia's oil refineries, causing a huge economical damage to Saudi Arabia. Similarly, these drones are also being used to target the American forces in the ongoing civil war in Syria. To make long story short, Kamikaze drones are really deadly and lethal weapons that can unleash major destruction in the enemy territory. Hence, it is not surprising that today these drones are causing a huge panic in the Ukrainian army as well as NATO. This is more so because it is believed that one of the main purposes for Russia is to use these deadly drones to destroy Ukraine's air defense system, which has greatly helped Ukraine in defending against Russia's aerial attacks. And as I said earlier, it is actually the NATO members that have supplied these air defense systems to Ukraine. By simply destroying these air defense systems, the Russian military will obviously get a decisive advantage over Ukraine and NATO. However, it should not be assumed that NATO members have not provided advanced drones to Ukraine. In fact, Turkey, a key NATO member, has provided Ukraine with several TB2 drones to Ukraine. Well, although these drones have greatly helped Ukraine in halting the march of Russian military towards Ukraine's capital city Kyiv, these drones are too large and too slow. Besides, Turkey's TB2 drones are really expensive. A single TB2 drone costs nearly $2 million, whereas a single Shahed 136 costs only $20,000. Now, since Iran Kamikaze drones are so cost effective, Russia has reportedly already imported over 1,000 drones from Iran. This pretty much confirms that Russia plans to extensively use these drones in the coming months, which should spell bad news for Ukraine. Now, of course, if Russia does gain any major territory in Ukraine in the ensuing months, then Ukraine will certainly expect more supply of weapons from the NATO members. But there's a limitation. Limitation to how much weapons can NATO members really supply to Ukraine. And that's because NATO is largely fighting a defensive war in Ukraine. It doesn't really want to launch any direct attack on Russian cities. This is the reason why NATO members have not really supplied any long-range missiles and sophisticated warplanes to Ukraine. One of the primary reasons why NATO wants to avoid any direct military confrontation with Moscow is because Russia is a nuclear power. In fact, Russia has the largest number of nuclear warheads in the entire world. Besides, all important NATO members are currently going through severe economic recession. US, Germany, France, Great Britain, well, all are witnessing double-digit inflation and a huge spike in unemployment. Not to mention, European countries are currently facing a major energy crisis. The Western countries, in other words, are in complete economic mess. And in these testing economic times, the West certainly wants to avoid a full-blown military conflict with a military powerhouse like Russia. Now, talking again about Iran's Kamikaze drones, it will be interesting to see whether the West will impose any fresh sanctions against Iran for supplying these drones to Russia. Well, although Tehran denies that it has supplied any drones, the West seems in no mood to listen to Tehran. It is highly likely that America and its allies might bring a resolution in the UN to impose fresh sanctions on Iran, which is already placed under barrage of international sanctions for pursuing its controversial nuclear program. But since Russia is a permanent member of the UN, Moscow is very likely to veto any such resolution. By the way, it will be really interesting to see how the Ukrainian war unfolds in the coming months. Russians might plan to surprise Ukraine and NATO by using more innovative weapons in the future. These innovative weapons can be in the form of drones, missiles, or artillery bombs. Ukraine, on the other hand, will sincerely hope that NATO continues to bail out their country as it's doing so far. That was it for this story. If you liked it, smash the like button and subscribe to our channel. This is Prashant signing off. See you in the next one.